Welcome to Disturbing Comics, where we talk about the craziest comics, manga, and finally manhwa. Now, y'all told me about Killing Stalking, created by a person named Koogi. Oh, let me pause you right there. If I mispronounce names, just politely let me know how to say it right. It is one of the most popular manhwa ever, psychological horror and drama about a stalker with borderline personality disorder finding out that the man he is so in love with from afar is actually the Korean Ted Bundy. So mixing these two together is a relationship of trauma and horror waiting to happen. The stalking, Yoon Bum, is the main protagonist. The killing, Sang-woo, and he's like the main antagonist. They will be in a relationship dictated by abuse and trauma, and only 5 chapters in, nothing good will come out of this kind of relationship. It's scary. This video is just a little recap of the first 5 chapters. I want to see if y'all want me to continue making videos on this. Also, please try to refrain from spoiling the comic in the comments. I get that some of you might be excited to talk about your experiences with this series, but I want to be surprised too. We're reading this together, like a reaction kind of thing. So with that said, let's see what this story is all about and get our feet wet with the first 5 chapters. This manhwa is a bucket of duck. It's a ducket of buck. If you want to see what happens, including all the messed up parts, stay tuned for the story. Cue the Gohan. There's a guy I like. I'm always looking at his social media updates, but he would think I'm a stalker. Just 'cause you are. Normally, males and females either date or become friends. I mean, what else? What else can they do? But neither can happen in my case, because I'm Yoon Bum, a male. Well, you can become friends. That's the guy Yoon Bum likes, Sang-woo, the guy who he stalks and even figures out the most press buttons on the keypad to Sang-woo's home so he could brute force the combination to get inside. It all started with staring at college. Yoon Bum himself entered college 4 years later than he needed to. South Korea, all the guys gotta do compulsory military service. It's Yoon Bum's turn, but he is disappointed when he finds out he has to be on active duty. Well, he serves his time, and Sang-woo, he serves his time at the same time. And he sees Yoon Bum being assaulted sexually by other members. Sang-woo saves Yoon Bum by telling people that he's being assaulted. Another reason to love the guy. Once his service is over, he's back to boring life, until he notices Sang-woo in public. Yoon Bum can't help but feel attached to this person. He hasn't even talked to him before, and seems to have a history of stalking others, or at least a history of bad relationships. It takes months for Yoon Bum to figure out the code to Sang-woo's home, but police stop by randomly when he's trying to enter it in. "Hello, sir. We've been patrolling the area to look out for illegal trespassers, so please be careful." "Wait, isn't that Sang-woo's home? Who are you, sir? Is this your home?" Yoon Bum says, "I'm a relative. I have something to pick up from Sang-woo." Now tension's rising heavy. Yoon Bum can't believe that the police officers believe that, but he's watching and waiting on him to go in. Yoon Bum rushes to enter the code by putting in random orders he calculated based on the most likely press buttons on the keypad. From pure luck, he enters the correct code, 54288, and makes his way in before getting arrested. "That was close," he says. This is Sang-woo's home. Meanwhile, those officers see Sang-woo with some girl. The charismatic Sang-woo meets the new officer eyeballing him, police officer Sung-bae. Sung-bae doesn't trust Sang-woo. He sees darkness in his eyes. "Hey, your cousin was at your house. Shouldn't you be going there to meet him?" Cousin? Sang-woo doesn't have any family. Now his spider sense is ringing. Sang-woo's fake cousin is really invested in Sang-woo's bed. Let's not mention what he's probably doing in the bed. But he hears a loud noise in that closet. A locked basement trapped door right on the ground. Good thing the key is in there. Yoon Bum opens it, seeing various tools laid about, and then a woman tied up with broken ankles. Sang-woo is evil. He has this woman in his basement, and who is his next victim? Ooh, I know that hurts. Sang-woo grabs him and says, "I don't know who you are, but I haven't seen my relatives in 10 years. This isn't the Sang-woo that Yoon Bum was beating about all night. He's evil. He tries escaping only to get hit again on the leg. Right before the finishing blow, Yoongbum shouts that he fell in love. The university class of 2011, he was in class with him. They were in an army together, and Songwoo saved him from being assaulted. He didn't want to annoy Songwoo, but he just liked him way too much. A weird situation that Songwoo smiles at. He brings his intruder to the next floor. Yoongbum wonders if Songwoo is forgiving him. Yeah, just not with his legs working the way they are. He pushes Yoongbum down the stairs, breaking his leg. He awakens tied to the ground and half nude. The girl he tried to save perished, and his leg is broken. Seems like Songwoo kidnaps his dates and tortures them. I get Ted Bundy vibes from Songwoo. They both seem to really hate women despite being popular with them for some reason. Middle-aged, unemployed, and a dude lover with issues. That's what he calls them. Normally, I'd kill you and let the girl live, but you're lucky today. Songwoo forces him to eat and generally degrades him, but Yoongbum is not a typical kidnapped person. He was stalking a serial killer and he didn't know. And Yoongbum's mind figures that this is love, kindness. Is it kindness when he breaks your left ankle with this sledgehammer? A week passes. Yoongbum's ankle has been bandaged and he's fed painkillers. Now we are starting to get some boys love energy and artwork. Just know that Songwoo has cleaned and dressed Yoongbum in clothes that probably belonged to his mother. Songwoo's mother is one thing that disturbed him for some reason. Anyway, Yoongbum is going to be in the mother role, or he dies. But maybe he might like that. Yoongbum has to crawl around and clean. When it's time to eat, he eats on the floor on a tiny desk that Songwoo ate on as a child. Yoongbum wonders if he can even escape. With his broken leg, he can't get far even if people could be outside to help. He imagines what would happen if he did try to roll his chair over the bump on the ground right there. Of course, it would alert Songwoo. Yoongbum can't hope to escape because if he tries, one click slash to the neck is all it would take. This is his nightmare. Maybe he can kill Songwoo. While he is cooking dinner for the both of them, Yoongbum imagines that cooking knife going right in Songwoo's eye. Would that work out? I wouldn't bet on it. So Yoongbum starts to follow directions, plays nice and looks around. After being told to clean out the storage closet, he finds rat poison. That would be a painful way to kill somebody. Are you confident enough to try and trick this guy? When he is cooking the next time, he places the pills in the pot to melt with the rest of the food. The meal looks good and appetizing, and this time, Songwoo even asks Yoongbum to sit at the big boy table with him. Yep, Yoongbum, you're gonna die soon, definitely. Just as Songwoo is about to take a bite of Yoongbum's delicious rat poison, creating anxiety in his purest form, he stops and tells Yoongbum to eat it first. We both can smile when you eat it first. In chapter 5, Yoongbum wonders if it's better to have an appendage cut off by Songwoo after confessing the truth, or to die painfully from rat poison. He chooses the rat poison, but only lets it sit in his mouth. It's through Songwoo's mean flirts that force him to swallow it down. Yoongbum has swallowed some of the poison. Luckily, while washing dishes after the meal, he starts vomiting it all up, all while Songwoo's favorite song is playing throughout the house. Unfortunately, a combination of his injuries and the presence of some of that poison in his system causes him to faint. Songwoo notices, picks him up, and carries him to a bed in his bedroom. He helps him induce vomiting, and hours pass as Yoongbum heals from his own poisoning. He is awakened from the sounds of a woman crying for help in the basement. Weirdo. You have something to say to me, don't you? Yoongbum requests to eat with Songwoo at the big boy table from now on. I mentioned earlier that little table is from Songwoo's childhood. He used to eat with his mom there, and the big table would be for his dad, the abusive kind who threw ashtrays at his loving family, amongst other things. This is the first time mentioning his family and the abuse he went through. Songwoo also notices the self-harm wounds on Yoongbum's wrists. I won't show it because YouTube is really strict about that. Turns out Yoongbum lived with his grandparents when he was a child and lives with his uncle now. We are probably going to see a lot about the uncle later. Telling his story only invites animosity from Songwoo, who says He hates scaredy cats like him the most. He calls him a lonely loser who can't do anything but sit in the pity pool. Then he gets nice again, bringing up how both of them have no parents. Also, he says that Yoongbum's presence reminds him of his mother. He feels loved with Yoongbum around. That's really a good low-key compliment, honestly. Just that people feel comfortable around you. So this is the first scene that probably inspired a lot of boys love lovers to write their own fanfic in their notebooks. They start kissing. It's getting really steamy in here. There's 2 hot dogs in the room, and Yoongbum plays with his own and with Sungwoo's hot dog juice on the floor afterwards. But look at Sungwoo's face afterwards. He shook. And so that is the first 5 chapters of Killing Stalking. It gets way worse. This is just a nice little intro. The next video, we will get the entire first season out of the way. That's like 15 chapters, and it gets rough. Get ready for some scary thumbnails. It is a psychological mindfuck. It bothers me to a point to read their interactions because I know nothing good is gonna come from this mix. Yoongbum has slipped through the cracks and he needs clear help from authorized officials. I couldn't imagine living like him, the self-hatred, the intense desire for someone you don't even know. Sungwoo needs prison for the murder of random women, life in prison. He's like South Korea's Ted Bundy. I get the dude's handsome, but he's scary. It scares me to know that whatever happens, Yoongbum is gonna be worse off. Literally, it's like mixing cyanide with rat poison, no pun intended. That is disturbing, so I would like to continue this story. Since this is the first 5 issues, there isn't much for me to really say about it, but I've read ahead and I know it only gets worse. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to see more messed up stuff. Want to check out some more comics and manga? Check out this playlist here because we go crazy on the crazy comics. Thank you guys for watching this video. Spooky out.